Hello again, everybody. As promised, here is our first enterprise vid. It's on eggs, our organic eggs. Starting out in 2016, seems like an awfully long time ago now. When we pitched up, we built this little thing here now. That is a very simple ply hen house. It is big enough to hold 50 organic hens according to Soil Association standards. We first bought up 30 pullets from Organic Pullets, Ben and Kathy Weatherden down in Devon. Definitely the best pullets we could ever hope to buy, I think. And that's how we got started. So we were producing whatever that is. That's going to be a couple of dozen eggs a day, and I was so stressed out worrying about how on earth we're going to sell 24 eggs every day. Who's going to buy 24 eggs? So we put a little shed down by the gate, and people on the footpath coming out of the village would walk past, and funny enough, 2 dozen eggs every day isn't such a big deal after all. They all went. And so we thought, well, this egg thing, you know, people actually really value high welfare local eggs, and we always had done. You know, we've always bought our eggs from the local egg person, whoever they happen to be, and so we went for it. And so we built this. Now it's empty now. These are just about to be converted to broiler houses, but this was our very first polytunnel style egg mobile. Don't know if you can see in there, I can't see what's on the screen. They hold 120 hens by Soil Association standards, and we built 3 of them, increasingly good structures as I practiced. And so what we'd do with them is we would have a total of about 350 hens. They would move every 4 months, and we would empty one of the hen houses every 4 months, so the hens would be on the farm for a year. We did try 18 months at first, but it really didn't work, because basically once the hens have been laying for a year, they go into a molt. Their eggs become quite weird, to be honest. There's a lot of very thin-shelled eggs, as they try to sort of replenish their supplies in their bodies. The eggs are too big, and they'll be broken, and there's a mess everywhere, and it just didn't really work. So we stuck to 12 months, but really it just ended up, it's quite a lot of work. 350 hens, is doing a lot of what I consider to be a lot of moving around, and a lot of faffing. And so we thought, well, all of those eggs were sold. I think it's time to expand. And so we had to figure out what our holding capacity on the farm would be. Now we've got a really good field for it. It's Oak Field, where I'm walking to now. It's 8 acres. Well, it's just over 8 acres. So we split that up into 2 blocks of 4 acres. And then each one of those blocks of 4 acres, that is again split into 2, so that we have 1 year on, 1 year off. The rotation that's required under Soil Association standards to, you know, allow the swards to recover, and to you know, try and keep the worm burden down. So we built 2 more much larger hen houses. You see that in the background? There's one there, and then there's one far off in the distance. I can't see where my finger is, somewhere over here. And they hold 400 hens each. So we've got 800 hens. Here they are, some of them anyway. We've had white eggs from White Leghorns in the past. We've had various Redco and a couple of other hybrid breeds, but we have gone just for Lomond Brown Classic is what we stick with. They lay brown eggs. They're very, there's the train again. They're very calm and placid birds, and they don't cause too much trouble. They're incredibly daft though, not very clever. So That is something you have to consider. So we have to keep the foxes out, obviously, because the hens are not up to the job. We use that 3-dimensional triple wire with very powerful electric fencer on there to keep old Foxy back. It seems to work a treat. I say that, I don't know why I said that out loud. Most of the time it works a treat. So I'm just going to show you in the hen house. Now, it's really loud in the hen house because they'll be in there laying eggs at the moment and making a hell of a racket while they do. It's normally a sign that they're having a good time. But I just want to show very quickly what it looks like inside a dirty old hen house. It's a really unglamorous business, raising eggs. Just because hens are filthy creatures. They're very, very dusty. They poo everywhere. And so we won't be in there for long. But I'll just show you a couple of the main bits and pieces. There's a dust bathing hen there. Right, are you ready? Here we go. Right, so they've laid some naughty eggs on the floor. That's normal. What we have here is a nice dusty ground for them to do all their dust bathing. They have these lovely slats. They spend quite a lot of time roosting on them at night. But they also have roosts up high. These are the nest boxes. You see they're communal nest boxes with a conveyor underneath. And this is their feed arrangement. As you can see, it's pretty filthy. They have just standard organic. Oh, dust in the face. I normally wear a face mask in there, just because if you're going in a hen house, like on a daily, several times a day basis, you find actually that your lungs do start to get a little bit wheezy. Go on, back we go. Get off that. Back we go. So yeah, a face mask is definitely recommended. They do need to be attended to. Every day I go in and check the house to make sure that there's no deaths, just to clear up the naughty eggs that have been laid on the ground. And obviously I need to collect all the eggs off the conveyor, make sure that none of them are roosting in the nest boxes. We have an automated nest box system, but it is not 100% foolproof. It's not fail-safe, so it does need. I do need to just go and make sure that it's worked, because sometimes the battery runs out. So that's the inside. Horrible in there. We're not going back in there. So I'm just going to show you the sort of general paddock system. We use a rotational, like a radial rotation. So this is a 2-acre plot. It's enough. It's twice the size that it needs to be for soil association standards. And so what we do is we divide it up and we rotate the hens around. It's not set up at the moment because the sheep have been in here and they caused all sorts of havoc and broke everything. I haven't had time to set it back up again, but essentially it gives a rest period for the pasture. And what that means is that the grass and the herbs can grow without getting overgrazed. Most things can take a hammering, like get really eaten down low. But so long as that's not happening over a prolonged period of time. So overgrazing is a chronic problem, not an acute problem. And so in a perfect world, they would be rotating round with 1 week on and 3 weeks off, giving plenty of rest period. And also it allows all the insects and what have you to have a refuge, but also to recolonize. So when the hens come back in, they've actually got something to chase after. They do love chasing after stuff. Mostly things that we can't see, actually, probably. And then between the 4 quadrants, we have recently planted our agroforestry system. I don't know whether you can see this, but okay, so behind us we've got the house, and then we've got these, this is about doing it in the mirror. These are little trees. They haven't grown much because we had a drought this summer, but they are in strips across the field. So we have pasture over there. That was actually veg over there. It will go back to pasture. Pasture here and pasture here, with this band across the middle, so that when the hens, when it has grown up, where the hens will be able to just come straight out into the pasture if they want, or they can come straight out underneath the canopy of this coppice. So what we planted in this one is, I suppose it doesn't matter specifically which one's which. This looks like the sweet chest. No, incorrect. That is the slow growing one. So we've got hornbeam, oak, and field maple in there, and then that will also be what we have over by that hen house, and then in the other range here and far over that side of the other side of that hen house, and the other location, we have faster growing coppice, which is sweet chestnut, sycamore, and tilia, small leaf lime. The idea is there that we will be able to coppice them and use the fuel as well. It provides all sorts of habitat when the hens aren't there for various things, wildlife, and when the hens are there, it will provide shelter from the wind, from the rain a little bit, but most importantly from the sun, because as jungle fowl, they are used to living underneath the giant canopies of rainforests, where really the sun, there's no direct sunlight, because they hate that. Really, actually, direct sunlight is one of their least favourite things. It makes them go a little bit crazy and quite aggressive. So that's just going to really improve their welfare, and if they're less stressed, then there'll be less mortality. They'll lay healthier eggs because the whole system is going to be working better. They'll have access to different forage. We're actually very pleased that we finally managed to get that system at least set up, if not fully operational. What else is there to say about the hens? I suppose one little thing is that we have 800 hens, which means we're over the threshold of 350, requiring us by law to do salmonella testing. So that is a boot swab test. Basically, you just walk around inside the hen house with your boots on, getting chicken poo all over them, with the swab on there, obviously, and then you send that off. And so far, so good. Salmonella actually is quite an infrequent problem in this part of the world, and certainly with relatively clean systems like this. Again, I don't know why I'm saying this out loud. Fingers crossed. Everything will be fine on that front. So there it is. These girls will stay here now for another 10 months, and then next August they'll be back into this field and start all over again.